for the two people watching at home.
Maybe more than that.
Not even. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Orange, Connecticut Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for July 17th, 2023. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce who's here. To my right, you got Mr. Pat Panza, Wayne Garrett, Eric Orzel, am I pronounce that? Our newest member, David Crow, Greg Natalino, my name's Noah Eisenhealer. We also have with us Bonnie Sayette, our stenographer, Deb Satanik, our recording secretary over there, and Jack Dimitrian, our town P&Z officer. Okay? Tonight is a special meeting. It's a continuation of a couple of weeks ago when we didn't have a quorum. Tonight we have too many people. So there'll be 5 people hearing it. What? Not so quickly. We do have 2 alternates. I'm going to ask Wayne to sit in and act as a regular member. Eric, you're not going to vote, but you're certainly entitled to question and ask and probe the respective applicants. It will take 4 positive votes for your variance to pass. All variances must be recorded on the land records and acted upon within 1 year. You would need, in order to effectuate it, again, you need 4 of the 5 votes. Okay, just so we're clear, I know there was some misunderstanding a number of months ago about that. Everybody addressing the board will do so from up here on the right. I'd ask that you introduce yourself and give your address. We have 2 matters down tonight, and I will read the...
They were already open, so you don't.
Yeah, it's a continuation.
If we could just do the review of the minutes.
Yeah, I can do the minutes.
Yeah.
We have 2 sets of minutes. We weren't able to get them passed last time. We have the minutes from April 3rd, 2023, and the meeting in the minutes of July 3rd, 2023. Having reviewed those, is there a motion to accept the meetings? Wayne makes the motion. Pat seconds it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. So the minutes are approved. Tonight's public hearing, as Jack pointed out, is a continuation from July 3rd's public hearing. So the first matter we have is petition number 1827.
Actually, I'm sorry to interrupt again. We actually have 2 sets of minutes. We're gonna vote on
We
tonight.
approved them both.
Oh, we said both dates.
Both.
There we go. Missed it.
Okay. So we got petition 1827 for a property known as 836 Baldwin Road. If there's a representative of that, please step forward. Introduce yourself, and what would you like to tell us?
To the
You gotta
public,
go up,
please.
you gotta go up here. Yeah, speak into the mic so they can record what you're saying.
If we could just get your name and address for the record, please.
Okay. Hi, my name is Lindita Ifti, and I actually purchased this house in March 2023, and
You gotta speak up loud.
the address is 836 Baldwin Road. Sorry for my accent. In Orange. So the bedrooms were kind of very, very extremely small. All we needed to extend in existing house, which was built in 1950. And that is pertaining to codes that was then 25 feet from the road. So right now we're trying to extend a little bit more in the side, but it's the code, it's in conforming with the codes, today codes of the building. So we got some permission from the neighbor. We have only one neighbor on the left side in opposite of the addition we have. The others are in Woodbridge. They are far away from us. So they actually agreed for accepting the submission. They signed the letter over there. So the only hardship is the new code in existing home, just to addition on the right side of in front road.
Understand, ma'am, a hardship as defined is not so much that you can't do what you want. There's something
Exactly,
unique
yeah.
with the property.
Because in the back it's a septic system, we cannot move over there, and we cannot go in the other side because it's kitchen and basement and garage. So the only way that we're trying to do as simple as we can in existing bedrooms to go a little bit further, just to extend the bedrooms, nothing else. Because it's like, I think 9 to 6, the 1 bedroom, it looks very like a closet most likely then.
So what you're trying to do is add a 480 square foot addition
Yeah.
and the setback from street line. And how much do you need
To that,
for the
the
setback?
plan over there, it's just to extend, John knows how much is.
Let me look at this.
So I'm just hearing a comment.
You can come over. I'm so sorry because
No,
he's
don't
doing that
apologize.
and I'm not good in feet. From Europe,
You need
it's
about
meters.
21 feet?
It's 20 by 24.
Could you introduce yourself for the record,
Yeah,
please?
I'm so sorry. Yes, Shorty.
Yeah, my name is Joshar Tahiri. I'm Linda's husband, and I'm contractor.
Could you spell your name for me, please?
Joshar, Jashar.
Thank you. And
Okay.
your last name?
Tahiri, T like Tom, Ahiri.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
So you need a setback from the street line. It's required 50 feet, and you have 29.4. So you need approximately a 20-foot,
20 feet.
yeah, a little bit more than 20 feet variance.
And the house is 24. Like,
Okay, understood. So it'll stay in the line somewhat,
yes.
the sight line.
Fortunately, it's the only option. It's just that. Cannot go back. We cannot go another side.
So, just so I understand, I just want to make it clear for the record, there's wetlands in the back of your house,
Yeah.
really. So you can't build there. And truthfully,
It's septic in the back,
yeah.
the corner lot.
But the house is already non-conforming, because you're just gonna build right along the front. I'm sorry. I'll start over. There's wetlands in the back of your house here, so you can't build in the back.
Yeah.
Plus, you're also limited by your septic.
Yeah.
The front of your house is already the 29 feet that you're asking for
Yeah.
from Baldwin. Okay, so you're just asking to bump out to the side another
On the same line.
20 feet,
20 feet. Yeah.
and then 24 feet back.
Yes.
That's not really not what we're talking about. We're talking about the front row there. I just wanted to make sure I
Yeah.
understood. Go ahead. You're up there.
Wayne, go ahead.
Wayne Garrick. In reading your application, it says that your hardship is the septic system in the back.
Yeah.
But according to the supplemental information we received from TM Wright, you're moving the septic system down to the end of the property, is that correct?
No.
No, we're trying not to touch the septic system, just to along where is the house, existing house, extend a little bit on the side. We cannot
We
build on
do
the
just
back.
soil test, and the guy there, he make a schedule in case if sometime the septic doesn't work, we can go there.
I
You're not
believe,
moving it to
No,
this point?
No, we're just gonna
We keep it there,
alongside.
exist what we have. This is, if sometime doesn't work this, he say you can go another side.
I believe
If you're adding-
he might be referring to a replacement area. It might not be clear on what,
Is that a B100? I see, B100. Okay.
that could be what he was referring to.
So, but is there a design for expanding the existing septic system since you're adding more bedrooms?
We're not adding bedrooms, we're just extending existing bedrooms, because they are super small.
You're not
like a
increasing
closet.
the number of bedrooms?
Yeah. It's
you adding
gonna
a
be
bathroom?
same number, same
Two
bedroom,
bedroom.
2 bedrooms still. We're not adding more bedrooms at all.
Are you adding a bathroom?
No, it's
No.
just the extending bedrooms, because they're so small.
Do you have any architectural drawings, what it's going to look like?
We did, I think, but
Plans and elevations?
we didn't, we needed to get permission first, we did survey, we did all those.
No, do you have, part of the application process includes
I
plans
think
and
there was a
elevations?
drone over there, I don't know if, do we
Well,
have a
for
drone
for
over
ours, I
there?
think you just need the A2 survey.
The one that's,
What's that?
For our,
I
for
did.
ZBA, it's just an A2 survey. I don't know what P&Z or the building department.
It does call for.
It does say
plan-
architectural should be along with it.
If,
Have those been filed, Jack, as far as you know?
Architecturals, no.
And neither has, when they looked at expanding their, or see if the property was suitable to expand the septic system, usually, Tim, oh, I'm sorry,
And we gotta record your brilliance, Pat.
we'll do that again. Let's try this again. When they do the B100, normally if you bring in TW Wright, they usually do a layout, as far as whether, your potential expansion is suitable. I'm assuming they did the actual test pits.
They did the test pits. You'd have to, I don't believe they submitted an as-built yet, but they're not expanding anything. Because they're staying at the same number of bedrooms.
Okay, same number of bedrooms, so
Right.
the only reason why they're doing this, if they ended up increasing the bedrooms, then they would have moved the.
Correct. And the health department, nothing had been filed with town hall on this property in years and years and years. So before they really got too far, they worked with the health department to make sure that they could find a replacement area, that their current system was functioning as it should. And to the best of my knowledge, that it
And the
was.
system, as far as you know, I'm sure they would have checked it out prior to buying the property, that the system was functional.
Correct, yeah. I don't know of any issues that they found during the soil
They're
testing.
not expanding, they just,
Exactly. They're not adding bedrooms, so there's no additional leaching area needed.
no, there's not increase in usage, so
Yeah.
the survey is what you use.
Everybody needs some more closet space.
Any other questions?
I think Eric had a question. Did you?
No, I was just saying pretty much most of the houses, whether it's Woodbridge, parts of those houses are also on Derby and Orange, they're all pre-existing, non-conforming on the road. So as far as setbacks, I don't see a problem because pretty much every house on the road is the same. As far as their setbacks, they're pre-existing, non-conforming. That's basically it.
It's good information.
Right. Anything else you want to add? Or- All right, any other questions of the parties?
So let's be clear, the specific hardship, again, is,
I don't think they understand what that.
okay, let's try it this way.
It's-
In order for us to vote, okay, we're pretty much black or white. And what that means is you have to identify and show hardship.
Yeah.
And the hardship has to be true to the property, not to anything financial,
Yeah.
or anything of that sort. So what I'm asking you, because I still haven't heard, is what is the hardship?
The hardship is that existing home, it's based on codes on 1950s, and it's 29 from the road, 29 feet from the road. And we want to go straight along, extend the property in same line at 29 existing, but it's comforting with the new code that is today, which is 50.
So what you're saying to us, so that we're clear as a board, that you cannot shift the property back
No.
because of the wetlands.
Septic system and then
The
wetlands.
wetlands,
We
okay?
cannot build nowhere.
And the irregularity of the property, is that what you're saying?
Uniqueness of the property itself, not that you want to put an extra bedroom on or what
Right.
have you. I mean, everybody
I'm just
wants
trying to get clarification of what the actual
There's no
hardship
other
is.
option.
They will have to go
I'd
to
say
wetlands
based on the
and then-
totality of their application, they may not have articulated it directly in words, but I think they've shown us what the hardship
The
is.
Yeah.
property is a unique piece of property with the wetlands.
The
and-
wetlands make it.
As a board, we need to turn around and identify.
You're right, Pat, but I think, like I said, I think the totality of their
Yeah.
Yeah,
application makes it clear.
understood.
Any
You're
other? Yeah, Wayne?
Actually, in the direction that the proposed addition is going, there are wetlands there. There's a stream there. You can see the culvert that goes across the road. So as Jack mentioned to me, prior to any permitting, they would have to get wetlands approval.
I imagine this is
Just want to
probably
make
your
sure
first
that
step.
they're clear.
If they
Wow.
were to get approval from this board tonight, their next step would be a wetlands
I mean,
application.
this is just the start of the journey here.
Yeah,
Right.
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to speak in support of the applicant? Anybody wish to speak against the applicant? Make a motion to close.
Should we read that letter that they
Yeah,
have into the,
yeah.
if you'd like to, yeah.
We do have a letter in support. This letter's from a neighbor to whom it may request. My name is Stan Narowski. My address is 834 Baldwin Road, Orange, Connecticut. I have full support of my neighbor at 836 Baldwin Road, Orange, Connecticut. Linda Laura LLC to make the addition in an existing house. Thank you. Stan Narowski, dated June 27th, 2023. Okay, so that's part of the record now. All right, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I make a
Pat
motion.
makes a motion, Wayne seconds it. All right. I think David was explaining what the hardship was,
I think the totality of the package here shows that they're pretty much confined to that one narrow strip. I'm sorry, let me start over. I think the totality of that package shows that they're confined to pretty much that one narrow strip of buildable land at the front of their, property. They're not going closer to the road, they're just kind of bumping out the existing structure. The one neighbor they have is actually on the other side, because the Woodbridge is the other direction, and the only person we've heard from is the person in orange, which has to be south, I think is what it says on the
This person
map,
right here,
so,
the next
yeah.
one here.
So, I don't think there's any objection, and I think there's a hardship presented.
Any other discussion? Amazing. All right, is there a motion to approve the variance?
I'll make the motion.
Just a reminder to do a specific foot amount as well with this variance.
Okay.
All right,
What are they asking for,
Which
29
is
feet?
29 six, I think.
yeah.
That's what it would be, 29.6.
I make a motion that we grant the variance for the addition of, go ahead, Pat. You got
I'm sorry,
something?
there-
Back of a variance of 29'6".
So they have,
29.4.
they have 29.4 out of 50, so they're asking for 20, 20.6, yes, 20.6.
Variance of
correct.
A
20.
variance of 20.6 feet.
The motion is to approve the variance to allow them to get a setback from street line in the amount of 20 feet, .6 inches. Is that
that
That's
correct?
the motion. All right,
With the alignment of the existing structure.
as shown on the map, on the survey.
Yeah, I can refer to the survey in there.
Great job. I said that all without moving my lips.
There you go. All right, is there a second?
Second.
Seconds it. All right, you want to do the roll call?
Sure. Wayne?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Greg?
In favor.
Pat?
In favor.
Noah?
Granted. You're all set, folks. Good luck in your start of the process. All right, the next matter is petition number 1828, submitted by Brian Long for the property known as 671 Cedar Grove. And we do have a letter in this one, too.
Multiple letters.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brian Long, owner of 671 Cedar Grove, Orange, Connecticut. And I've submitted plans, architecturals, A2 survey, photographs, a letter from every one of the abutting property owners up and down the street. My hardship is, as you can see by the A2 survey, this is a highly irregular lot. We're doing an extensive renovation of the main home, and we've always wanted to have a pool and a pool house. There are no other locations on the property to be able to put the pool or pool house, as the side yard currently has the existing septic system in use, and it has the proposed future for failed septic system laid out, all of which would also need a variance because it's all within that 50-foot setback as well. Ideally, I think everybody would want a pool and a pool house in the back of their property, which this is. The back of the property is owned by the town. It's all part of the Housatonic Overlook property. So there's no really visual up and down the street that you would be able to see the pool house or the pool. And again, just the very uniqueness of the irregular property is my hardship. There are technically 3 variances that I'm asking for this evening. One is the pool house. I'll start with actually in the application, number 5, letter C, listing the sections of the code. 383-30A is 3 inches for the front porch. This was originally designed as a 20 by 20 porch, and I realized that that was way within the setback, so we reduced it to the 13 by 13, and when the A2 survey was done, we came up 3 inches short after the architecturals were all done. So rather than to redesign everything, we're asking for a 3-inch variance from the setback for the front porch, an open porch, not heated or cooled, just an open porch. And then the pool house itself, the pool doesn't need a variance because that's within the right. And the pool house, we're asking for the variance, I think it's 39.6 feet. And then we're changing the staircase within the house. And so the little bump out that you see in the corner off of the garage on the rear of the property, where the cars pull in the garage, that's going to be a mudroom, and we're relocating the staircase. So we're digging out the foundation, and then we're going to put the staircase there to enter the basement so that we have a larger space for the kitchen. The kitchen was really small and couldn't really be reconfigured to today's type standard kitchens. So that little bump out is a 2.4-inch variance, and that's the third variance within the application I've submitted this evening, or today, or prior. Lots of material. I'm sure you have lots of questions.
So in other words, you're getting rid of the existing Bilco door, closing that area up?
That's correct.
So that becomes, is that basement finished at this point?
So just want to make sure that we're on the same page. That's going to be an enclosed entrance area. We're not closing that area up. The metal Bilco door is being removed,
Yeah.
but now that's becoming an egress for the downstairs for a 4th bedroom.
Back door.
Side door,
I'm sorry, I didn't turn my thing on, so
problem.
it's the back door, right?
yeah, side door, yeah,
Okay,
same thing.
instead of into the basement, it's.
It'll
now
have a
gonna
full-size
go
door. Instead of
into-
bending over to have the metal
Yeah,
Bilco
okay.
door, you'll have an actual,
And you're just kind of enclosing that spot.
correct, straight up from the existing poured concrete, just removing the cement, the metal Bilco door,
And-
framing it up, and then hip roof attaching to the
And
property.
you need essentially 2.5 feet to pull that off.
So in other words,
To the
For the Bilco doors,
to the south corner.
for the Bilco door, we don't need anything. That's
Okay.
just,
no, I know.
No,
that's-
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the.
Yeah, look at the.
This
concrete
septic
pad there.
system is existing now, is that correct?
that's correct.
And this house is
That's all.
existing, a 4-bedroom?
This is existing 3-bedroom, but according to Brian, in the health department, the sanitation, he said the property was, the plan was originally done for a 4-bedroom, but the house was built as a 3-bedroom, so that I could get a 4-bedroom, or I could get an additional bathroom or an additional bedroom without any additional work needed to the septic system. And if I needed any work to the septic system, I wouldn't be going for a 4-bedroom. It's my wife, myself, and my one son, 15 years old. So we only have 3 occupants in the house.
Are you putting a bathroom in the pool house?
Yes, we are, and that's one of the main reasons. With the extensive renovation, we're putting in 8-inch hickory flooring throughout the house, and it's going to be an expensive floor. And for people to come in and out of the house to use the restroom with wet clothes and bathing suits, we don't want that. We'd rather have an outside area and an outside toilet.
And you're also having a shower in there as well?
There is no shower. We're considering putting an exterior shower, but
So let me ask you this, where is that water being tied into? In other words, your discharge, where's it going?
so the gas,
I don't care about
the
the gas.
water, the sewer,
Yeah,
and the electric are all going to tie in directly channeled from the pool house, pretty much straight into the foundation of the existing property.
okay.
All underground. I think it's 42 inches or whatever the channel depth is. Sure.
Yeah, Wayne.
First, I would like to thank you for coming in and supplementing your application with the architectural plans and elevations. So thank you very much for that. I personally don't see any real issues here. It's just a couple inches here and there and maybe a couple
Well,
feet for
You're looking for how, more than that, on the
Say-
pool house.
the pool house, yes, but I mean, it's an
Well, yeah, 3
accessory
inches or-
building.
Yeah, that's,
It's only a
couple feet
couple
on
feet,
that. I mean,
yeah.
that's- I
Couple
think it's
feet
more
for
the
that, a
pool
couple
house.
inches for the house. I think
Mr.
it's
Chairman, I hate to interrupt this, it just gets rolling, but perhaps we could dismiss our previous applicants.
yeah,
You
you're
don't
all
have to-
set.
You don't have to stay.
They want to
If you guys
stay.
want to stay, feel free.
Yeah. You were sitting over there so nice and quiet, I said, you go on home.
Totally up to you. You don't have
Ask you in the door.
Never wait for anybody to change their mind. Just run
Good
the
evening,
bell.
guys. Bye-bye.
Wayne, do you have any questions of the gentleman? I mean, that's what we're here
That's
for.
the issue.
You can-
I do have a question. In your determination in designing this with the pool house and the pool and stuff of that sort, did you ever consider minimizing the amount of impact to the setback of the pool house closer to the house?
The distance between the pool and the pool house, we wanted kind of in a straight line to keep it symmetrical. And I believe the distances, I have it on my plan, I can look it up, but I believe it's 23 feet from foundation to pool and foundation to edge of pool house, which if you put an outside table to walk around it, you know, I think that's reasonable. I think if you start to bring the pool, which I think is probably going to need some blasting or some heavy excavating or what do they call it? Pounding. You
In
know,
other words, you're going to be breaking up ledge and whatever.
I would imagine so. It's Connecticut and Orange. I think we're probably going to be breaking that up. I wanted to keep that a little further away from the foundation if I could, instead of right up next to the house.
Yeah, that wasn't the question I was asking. The question was that the distance of your hardship right now, 10-foot 4, so you're asking for a 39.6 hardship for that corner.
Correct.
Okay? You have a distance of 23-foot 4 from the corner of the house to, from the corner of the pool to the existing house. And then the deck, it doesn't really indicate what the size of the deck is. What I'm asking you, was there ever consideration of shifting the pool house so that it is not, parallel?
Are you closer to the pool or to the house?
To the
Or closer
house.
To the pool?
To the house.
Either or.
Yeah, to the house. As far as the distance from there to the pool, it's irrelevant. I'm more concerned about the amount of,
40-foot variance.
yeah, it's almost a 40-foot variance. With that being said, granted, I understand what you're saying as far as you want things to be symmetrical and things of that sort. And the hardship is the irregularity of the property. I just asked if you ever considered to soften the hardship. You're not going to eliminate it, but 40 feet, 39-foot 6 is quite a bit.
And I agree with you that that's a large ask. And if I had a square property or a rectangle property, probably wouldn't need an ask. Bringing the building closer to the house, I think it would create mold, mildew. There's no space between the dwelling. I think it makes it too close to the subject property or to the home. If you're looking out the back window, you're going to see a structure. It really tightens up the space. And just, I know it's not clear, but where it says that rear deck, that's existing deck. That's going to be removed. So this is all going to be pavers in the backyard between the pool house and the pool. So that's going to be a new patio. That deck is being removed. That was part of the original structure or whenever they built it 30 years ago or 20 years ago, whatever it is.
So let's be clear again for the board and myself. Your hardship, as you're so stating it, is that it's the irregularity of the property. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's a triangle. You
Yeah.
know, if it was all shifted over. it would be-
Just
Eric?
ask.
Couple things, if you're gonna be, removing the deck, why can't you bring the pool a little closer to the house and then maybe downsize the structure? Because the only way I look at this is like if your house was, say, over on Aspen Lane, around the corner, you know, and you're building a 400 square foot structure 10 feet from the property line, where you're gonna have a house kind of behind a house over there. You know, it really doesn't come fair. I understand you have open space behind your property, but if someone else is asking for this same variance in a different neighborhood, you know, it's not really fair, so to speak. You know, I don't have a problem with the pool, or the pool house, but maybe if you downsize it, maybe pull it a little closer to the house and just you know, just so, because going down the road, if someone else is like, hey, wait a minute, this guy put a 400 square foot, you know, structure 10 feet from his property, or like even if you're over on, you know, say, you know, like Michael Court and Ann Rose Drive or something, we got houses backed up to each other, you know, they're gonna be like, well, he did it, why can't we do it? You know, and I understand you have open space property behind your property, but, you know, I don't have a problem with the structure, except I think maybe, because you are asking for these variances, maybe downsize, you know, the pool house, just so that way someone else in town is looking for something, you know, it just kind of makes it all fair. I mean, you could pull the pool a bit closer to the house or downsize the pool a hair. You know, there's other options. I'm just looking for, you know, the rest of the town, and when they come and say, well, he did that, why can't I do that?
Well, every application
Is
is
unique.
Yeah, I know, I understand.
I call restaurant.
Because of the variance.
Here's the bigger problem, as we run into in the town of Orange quite a bit. And again, I'm not saying that you would do this, but a structure of a 400 square foot structure that's going to have running water in it, toilet per se, down the road, you know, we've seen these things turned into like an additional apartment, you know, attic.
Jack has something. But
Yeah, no, I
finish,
think
Pat.
we're here for what is in front of us, you know, the use.
I understand that, and what I'm trying to explain to him, he's asking for a hardship period of almost 40 feet. So, he says that there's a problem with mold and this, that, and the other thing if he brings it close to the house. I'm a builder as well, and at the end of the day, that's really not the case. It's a matter of aesthetics more than actually mold, I would, in my opinion anyway. All I asked you, and, you know, if you had considered, whether you did or you didn't, of softening the amount of hardship, as Eric had pointed out. And if this is what you want to run with, then we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so that is somewhat on the north side of the property, and when you put two properties, when you put two buildings close together, it just in my experience, you do run into issues with, you know, shading and mold and less aeration, but that's just my opinion, and your opinion is perhaps different. The hammering of the ledge, which I know I'm going to be getting into, has me very concerned when you start hammering ledge and now you have an existing foundation, that I'm going to open up further issues with my property, bringing it closer to the property. The excavating is going to be heavy, hard, and I know I'm going to be hitting ledge. So if you start bringing that closer to the property, then I could be fracturing my foundation. And I think that's a reasonable space and a comfortable space in which to put something. And I guess there are other people that would maybe promote something smaller and then try to wait until they get their approval and then build it out bigger. I'm not doing that. I'm telling you exactly what I want to do. I'm having the construction crew come in. I'm moving out of my house for a year. I'm having everything done in one shot, and I don't ever want to pick up another hammer again. I just want it all done, one shot. So what I'm showing you is how it's gonna be for
We appreciate your candor.
my
but
lifetime.
Understand that the board can here to tell you what to do. We're just here that you make an application. If we find a hardship, it's granted. If it's not.
Understood.
And the suggestions aren't meant to, it's not gospel. These are just suggestions that you consider, which I think is a legitimate
I
question.
think Wayne has something to add.
Go ahead, Wayne, what do you want to say?
Thank you. It seems to me that this proposed pool and pool house are on the east side of the property, not the north side. But that being said, most of your excavation challenges I think, are going to be the swimming pool, depending upon its depth. But the pool house itself can actually, is it going to be a slab on grade?
Correct.
Then you don't really need to excavate for it.
That's correct.
You could pin it to the ledge if you need a
Absolutely.
ledge.
I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
True statement.
Right.
Any other questions of this gentleman? All right. Have a seat.
Okay. And just one thing, thank you for all the volunteers that are here. I appreciate all of your time and being
Well,
here.
we'll see.
Either way, I still appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, there are a couple letters here, and they're all exactly the same letters. They're all dated June 4th, addressed to the Planning and Zoning Department, Orange. It's actually for the Zoning Board of Appeals. Application for variance 671 Cedar Grove Pool House. We, the undersigned individuals, fully approve the Long's plan for a pool and pool house at their home at 671 Cedar Grove, Orange. And it's the exact same letter submitted by Randy and Stuart Horkowitz, I believe it's pronounced, 660 Cedar Grove. Same letter from Michael and Susan Donadio, 672 Cedar Grove. Nicholas and Patty Mastriano, 655 Cedar Grove. Sarah and Jose Restrupo, 684 Cedar Grove. I think we got another one here. Roger Mandahar, 652 Cedar Grove. I assume these are all the neighbors, and they all, no objection to doing this. All right, having said that, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Make a motion.
Greg makes the motion, Pat seconds it. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
It's unique, it is a triangle. I actually went out and looked
I
at the
did too.
property. It's very impressive. You could probably play soccer. Probably got a full soccer field out there.
My son plays soccer and he plays,
And while you're playing soccer, you probably have a football game and a ball game going. At the same time,
want to keep him outside and moving.
there's nothing, it's something worthy goal. And it is an angle, if it was shifted over, we wouldn't be here. But, as Pat pointed out, it's a pretty big give, 40 feet.
Well, that's,
I'm not worried about, it never occurs to me they're gonna use that for a living.
Well,
No,
let's tackle the first two. I mean, we can give them variances on the first two.
Well, the first couple, the 3 inches on the
De
front
minimis.
porch,
it's the
They're
whole package.
de minimis.
and then
Yeah.
2.4 on the proposed one-story addition, I don't think there'll be an issue
No,
with that.
it's not a problem.
All right, Wayne, what do you want to say?
No, I agree with David. The first two variances are,
Well, those are,
Inconsequential.
I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is
Yeah.
the pool house.
And at the end of the day, as he says, you can't see this from from any part of the property. so-
Aesthetically,
Aesthetically.
It's
I mean,
line's gonna line up nicely.
and as a board, as you well know, it's either black or white. We don't have the luxury of like planning and zoning where we can kind of embellish the facts presented. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, that's why I asked him several times, did you consider adjusting the pool house or shifting? He wants it to be pretty much in line with the pool, without making any adjustments either left, more to the left than the right. I understand the hardship of the property, but I don't understand the hardship as far as how much on the setback of almost a 40-foot setback. A request for a variance of 40 feet.
Well, I could see aesthetically, the pool's 20
I understand.
by 40.
But we're not
I
considering
understand that,
aesthetics.
but I can understand.
I think we're
the-
just constrained by the fact of whether or not there's a hardship here, and I think this is a textbook definition of a hardship. You've got an odd-shaped lot. It pinches,
Unique.
yeah, it's unique. It pinches as it gets closer to the house. If they were to rebuild the house right now, I think they, on the the corners,
Swap it.
they need a variance. So I know it's big, but I think our one issue is whether or not there's a hardship, and there definitely is here. The first two variances, I'm like Wayne, I think, you know, whether you need 6
3
inches on
inches.
the front house,
Yeah, it's
2
not-
feet, that's not.
3 feet on the back of that, yeah, that's easy. The big ask is, you know, we're chopping 40 feet off that, but
You're done, sir.
we are the neighbors. So the town of Orange is the back neighbor. It's open land.
Should we get Vinnie in here?
I think I'd be inclined to grant the variance based on that.
Eric, anything you want to add?
I mean, I'm share Eric's concern. It's a big, you know,
yeah.
discussed it. It's a big pool house. It's 400 square feet. But then again,
It might be the biggest one I've seen.
Yes.
yeah, it's not,
I don't remember either.
When he needs Rudy Miller here, he'd remember. In
Yeah, but I think
1952, we
Rudy
granted
was
a
commenting by that.
41-foot variance.
I think Eric wants to add to what it's, sorry.
Well,
Go ahead.
I've designed obviously many pool houses, the largest being 1,500 square feet, as a matter of fact.
Wait, you gotta turn on your-
He's gonna
My
come get you if you
apologies.
don't.
I've
Come to the
designed,
window, please.
as I mentioned, you know, I've certainly been involved with many pool house projects. I kind of agree with Pat to a certain degree. I think we could, the pool and the pool house could move closer to the house, maybe by a couple feet, maybe make it 20 feet from the house to the pool. I think the pool house could be, I don't want to really get involved with design, so
It's
16
not a
by
question of what
16.
you would
but-
do or can do or you should do. It's,
Exactly.
we got an application.
We gotta
We
base
got
it
to
on
vote on
this.
this application. We're not here to
Right.
tell them how to design
But,
this property.
so on one hand, I understand that point. On the other, I think David's point, you know, there is town property behind it. I don't think this is really, I mean, every variance is unique unto itself. It doesn't set precedent, and in this case, in all due respect, Eric, I'm sorry about that. But there is open space and town land behind it, so it's not really impinging upon anything, so.
None of the neighbors are concerned.
No.
Anybody else have any input?
No, I was just gonna say, you know, like I said, I mean, it is town property, so, you know, no one is gonna see it, you know, it's just. you know,
That's a
just-
practical consideration, but actually, for the purpose of a variance, is it
Yeah,
relevant?
yeah, my thing was just like, usually when, like, if you're asking for special permission, it's just to kind of compromise a little bit, you know, on something, but like I said, you know, you're not gonna see the pool house, you know, unless you're in a helicopter. You know,
Or the assessor.
but,
Or the assessor.
so, you know, but,
So we'll see.
you know, that's basically it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so there's 3 variances here, and I think 2 of the 3, the 3 inches front porch variance and the 2.4,
Should we vote on it individually?
I think, yeah, for the purposes of the land records.
yeah, I think we would vote. So the first one is
It's really 3 variances.
3 separate variances. So is there a motion to grant a variance to allow for a 3-inch variance of the front porch as shown on the A2 survey? Pat makes that motion. Wayne seconds it. You want to take a vote?
Wayne? Dave?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes. All right, so that's granted. And we're going to skip the next one. The next variance requested is 2.4-foot proposed first-story addition, a variance of 2.4 feet for a first addition as shown on the A2 survey, which is part of the record. Does someone make a motion to grant that variance, 2.4?
I'll make a
David?
motion.
Pat seconds it. And do a roll.
Wayne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Greg?
Yep.
Pat?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes. All right, the final variance is to grant a variance of 39.6 feet to construct a pool house as shown on the A2 survey, which is part of the record. Does someone make a motion to grant that variance?
I'll make a motion.
David makes a motion to grant it. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Wayne seconds it. All right, go ahead.
Wayne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Pat?
No.
Noah?
Yes. All right, it's been granted, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. And again, I thank everybody's volunteer and their time.
You sure you want to have a pool? You sure you want a swimming pool?
My boy definitely does.
Well, I've been spending 3 weeks trying to get mine not green anymore. All right, any more business from the board? Wayne?
I just thought I would mention to everyone at the meeting, I'm sure they know, but Tom Torrenti, I'm sure everyone knows, Tom Torrenti has been a resident of Orange all his life. He serves on the Town Planning and Zoning Commission, and his wife recently passed away, unfortunately, after being ill for a long time. So I'd just like to, hopefully everyone will join me in sending our condolences to Tom Torrenti.
I actually know Tom very well.
Yeah.
His son, Donald, I don't know if you know his son, Donald.
I do. I know everybody.
Do you know who Jamie is? Donald's girlfriend?
No.
Donald's girlfriend was my niece, Jamie. They went out together for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
What happened?
And then they broke up about 2 or 3 years ago, and we miss him terribly.
Yeah.
And I know Tom. Tom's a
Yeah,
great guy.
Tom and I have
Good.
worked together
He was
for
a
many,
mensch.
many
Very well
years.
said, Wayne, yes, absolutely.
So I just want to recognize,
He's a real engineer.
send our condolences to he and his family on behalf of the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Yeah, if you want, there, you can make a donation to the Orange Visiting Nurses.
Yes, already done.
Which is, but like I said, I've known the family. They started dating their freshman year in high school.
Wow.
That's where I met Donald and Tom. Okay, any other business before the board?
Yes. I would like to put on the record that I would like to enhance or expand or amend Section 383-12, which is our powers of duty as a ZBA affiliate. The situation.
I don't know you can do that. I don't
Well,
think-
I understand. We're going to find out because there'll be an attorney involved. But the point is at the end of the day, when it comes to the health, safety, and welfare of the community, and that basically means all the constituents, and we have 14,472 people that are registered voters here. And when there's something that becomes unique to any town, city, or whatever, whether it be a special permit, special exception, or things of that sort, it really needs to be analyzed by both organizations. And the reason why I say that is that sometimes things have been overlooked or just kind of, it's okay, we can make that change. So, and also that planning and zoning, when they make recommendations, and again, this is not our department, but to actually enforce what they actually put on the record. So, be as that made, I'm talking to a couple of attorneys now. There may be a formal letter coming out in that manner that would help both organizations.
Empower the zoning boards, ZBA and P and Z,
Just notification.
notification of,
In other words, everything that comes, and I know it goes to the paper, by the way, it goes to the New Haven Register. 2,000 people read the New Haven Register, if that.
many?
Okay, so the point is, at the end of the day, most towns that I've worked in, there's other methods that they announce to the public on these hearings. I think it's a matter of courage. If we're going to coincide, in other words, planning and zoning and ZBA, we're supposed to be long arms of each other, okay? One, P&Z has a specific duty to do and enforce, but so does ZBA, and even though ours is limited more than, planning and zoning. I think there's got to be better controls on what comes into the town. For example, I know for a fact that if you get into a proposed special exception or change of use, it usually goes out to a referendum, okay? And certain projects have not done that. And as not only a resident of Orange, but as I came to this town because it was a farm town, the whole dynamics have changed to this town. So we're looking into how do we protect the 14,472 residents of the town of Orange. I don't care about any other town or city, I'm talking about this town. So I just wanted to go on the record on that.
Let's see, I look forward to seeing what you got.
Okay, thank you for your
All right,
time.
anything, can I make a suggestion, Jack?
Mm-hmm.
When you say hardship to some of these people, they just kind of.
Yeah.
There's only so much,
But is there something like
Yeah,
a
you can't
handout we
really
could give them,
advise
say,
them.
look, you go in front of the board? Because when they don't hire lawyers,
I must have
David's
explained
pulling
it.
it out of them.
I must have explained it about 10 times, and I, of course, counsel finding representation if they don't feel comfortable explaining that hardship.
but if there's some handout or something, say, look, you gotta show a hardship.
I'll look and
this is
see
what
if I can find maybe a ZBA,
Yeah,
you know,
'cause everybody,
cheat
hardship,
sheet to explain
The
it, but.
trouble with it is, though, it'll take a lawyer to explain it to them. You
Right.
read it.
Right, and
So
then
how do you
I must have
handle
explained it at that, yeah, and unfortunately, there was a bit of a
We're kind
barrier
of here
there.
as a board
If you
to,
take the definition even out of the book here, I mean, it's.
Yeah, I'll look for something around to hand out for
Yeah,
every
because
ZBA
they
applicant,
they have no
absolutely.
idea. what-
That's
I-
why I made the statements on, to reiterate
Oh,
the hardship.
100%, no,
And
I
they-
think
and
the
they're
board
like,
is,
no, I wanna do this, I wanna.
We
do
as
I
a
that."
think the
board
board
do
is
a good
very
job
fair
rounding
with
out.
how they treat that, and
I think-
I'm limited with how much I
I'm just
can.
curious, like, how is a pool house a hardship, though?
Well, let's,
not the hard-
we
not the
can't,
hard-
we voted on this, we can't
No,
keep
no, no,
diving
I
into
know
this.
that, I know that, I'm
when
just,
we're off the.
It's, yeah, well, we're not, the meeting is still open, we're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
off the record.
Yeah, when we're off
So
the
we
record.
still have
Only talk
to, we
about
still have
that
to close
after
this
it's
meeting.
closed.
All right, is there a motion to close the meeting?
I make a motion.
Motion.
Everybody makes a motion.
First
All in
and
favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting's closed.
Thank you.
record.
Go off the
And while they were picking, Grandpa would go down and he'd take a pail and we'd go talk to the nice old ladies and they'd fill up our pail with tomatoes and we'd turn around and come back home again.
Wow, that is great.
Those were the good old days. When they were going to dig for the park,